muted at the moment. Lots of ambient noise unexpectedly, so thank you for stopping in. Right now I'm animating this little guy, this little idol sitting there. I'm gonna make him breathe and blink once. Probably be not all done today, but right now, go, starts to breathe. Look at that, beautiful. Let us do another. Let me know if audio's coming out okay as well. I'm still figuring out all my settings for that. So, what have you all been doing today? Working on anything cool? Hopefully so. I think that's all the breathing frames, honestly. I'm just gonna... Let's try... I guess actually I could just copy this whole thing. Let's see how that looks. Something ain't right with that. I think it needs to bulge up around his backpack strap. That's what it is. So let's do that. Just make it bend a little bit, maybe. Y'all seen any cool new projects lately? Been seeing a lot of cool Patreon things coming out. Not Patreon, Kickstarters. There's one that I'm super excited about. It's a game called Gun Nose. It's from an artist, Addie Valentine, who, I mean, I've followed him for a long time. I love him. And he's making that game, and it looks like it's going to be really, really good. Just a 3D pixel art game. Kind of a police noir sort of thing, but all the character designs are like Mega Man characters. So they're just wacky robots and stuff. It's a blast. So I'm very excited. He reached his funding goal in under 24 hours, and is very near some of his really high stretch goals. So he's gotten, last I checked, actually I can check right now, let me see. He's got $186,000 of his initial $35,000 goal. It's just amazing. And he got all that in 10 days, 9 days? It's been 9 days. He funded the whole thing in under 24 hours. Just incredible. I'm very, very proud of him for what he's done there. But that game looks like it's going to be really good if anyone here likes kind of detective games or top-down combat, because it's both. So, it tickles all the fancies, so they say. At least so I say. I don't think anyone else says that, but looks like it will be very good. There's another one. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar. There's a fellow, Sawyer Lee. He does the Dragon Slayer Codex, which is this really awesome project cataloging a world where dragons are real, which, I mean, that idea in and of itself is not necessarily original to him, but the way he does this world is just breathtaking, because he makes it so believable. Every aspect of it. It's like, wow, this is really what life would be like if there were dragons, isn't it? So he released Volume 1 of the Dragon Slayer Codex. What is it? A year ago now? I think it's almost exactly a year ago now. And that was great. There were some typos in the formatting, but besides that, it's, amazing. What is happening right now? Oh, because I'm not on a framed. There's some typos in it, but other than that, it's excellent. If you want to check him out, it's Sawyer Lee Art. Sawyer Lee on YouTube, and I believe he's on he's on Instagram too. Absolutely more than worth a check out. Alright, we're back. Had to go deal with something real quick. That should be done and over with, and I can get back to this. The breathing, I I was not expecting it to be pretty much done in 3 frames, so maybe we'll add a little bit more to the stream in the end. How y'all doing? What have you been working on? This guy, for anyone who didn't catch yesterday's stream, this character, let's show his full body, is a frog. Obviously, that's kind of obvious. But he's got a leaf in his head, which is also fairly obvious. He's the main character for a point-and-click game I am intending to work on. So, yeah, that's who he is. If I can just get this right. So now I'm going to paste all these. Now that I think about it, I probably should have done the cheeks on a separate layer, honestly. So maybe we're not all for naught. Maybe I should have done that. And then, perhaps. Options. That's satisfactory for me. Breathing. Maybe a little too much flexion in that little neck. Let's see. Let's make that expand slightly less, maybe. Oh, yeah. I just want to make the strap a very subtle movement as opposed to that big movement. Let's fix that. Just as it is, it's a little distracting. Needs to be fairly subtle. I just want it to suggest that the strap is moving. Let's get this. Just kind of between there. That should be perfect. And of course, I'll clean it up later. But for now, we just need to know, does it work? And we shall see. I need to get... I'm sure there's probably a better way to test stuff like this, but... You know what? I would rather just suffer and not know what I'm doing. You know, that's a much more tasteful option, honestly. Because then, it's more entertaining for everyone involved. Alright, we got his breathing. There's gotta be a feature to just select my playback. There's gotta be. I mean, I could just set it to just frame 3. Or just 2. Oh, wait. No, it would have to be 3. There we go. Redneck Solutions. Alright, let's take a look at this. Is that too much movement, or is that not enough? That's the real question. If you ever see an actual frog breathing, that's kind of how it goes. It's just a little, very gentle elevation, like cycling of the under the throat, because they don't actually have powered lungs like we do. So they intake and exhale air just using the bottom of their jaw. So, I don't know. Maybe that's too much. I'm starting to think that maybe the cheeks shouldn't also grow. Or if they do, it should be very subtle. That's kind of more what I'm thinking. So let's, I'm gonna cut those. Actually, I'm gonna remove them. Let's just try that again. I want this to be more believable. Let's make it so he breathes in, actually. I kind of like that idea better. Take 2. Brother, you are going to breathe in to your body. Just slightly. Little gentle inhale. Didn't this one already play? Oh, I think I've got it in a cycle. This is a pretty freaking epic jazz remix. Like, I guess it's an album, EP, something like that, of all the Wii Channel music. So if you've recognized any of it, but not completely, that's probably why. Because some of them are pretty different. This one's almost completely faithful, but it has some parts that are a little unique. But you know what? We make do with what we have. I don't know why I can't get the stomach right. There we go. I say that and then it's perfect. Yeah, I would definitely benefit from having these on different layers. But you know what? Why benefit when we could suffer? You know? I don't know if I want it to go any further out. I'll try. Oh! Oops. I drew that on the wrong frame. There we go. Now... Yeah, I don't see that working going any further out. I will try expanding it downwards maybe a little bit. Just on the complete full. Just a little bit. Does that work? It might. We'll see. Alright, now magic. Magic. Copy that. Paste it there. Isn't that nice how easy this is? Okay, that's definitely not right. That's horrible. Let's see. What's wrong with this? It's because it expands in a different direction. Yeah, that's the problem. Alright, so I'm just gonna be lazy. I honestly think that this will just work. That's the base. Just like that. And then I'll edit it as it goes. Yeah, so it needs to be slightly less. Which is funny, because we started... This is the base frame right here. So, it's funny that now the base frame is too expanded. Alright, let's do this. You just need to be slightly less pooched out. Can you do that for me, man? Can you do that? Needs to be nice and subtle. Just like a couple pixels, honestly. This is great spacing. Alright, let's try that. Nope, that's not even. So it needs to make sure, I need to make sure that it's expanding evenly in every direction. Because what was wrong with that first run was it was not expanding equally to the sides and downwards, and so it looked a little off. It didn't look like a round thing growing. It looked like kind of a weird shape shifting around. So it's key that I get this fairly consistent. Make sure it's not squared off or anything. Now that is way better. Way better. I'll go ahead and clean that up. Why not? Alright, let's... Moment of truth. Oh, not a column. Whatever, that should work still. Perfect. Alright, so I'm going to make that every other frame. Let's go ahead and put this back to 60. So this is going to be... This is just a beta, so doesn't need to be perfect. I just want it to look good enough, and that's all I need. Stretch across the whole thing. And that's perfect. See, I like that. I like the one frame. Though, whatever, that's okay. I want to fix this little area here, because this needs to flex. But, for now, that is a good backdrop. I should move you down the hierarchy, shouldn't I? You're gonna be green, because this is gonna be something. What was it I said? I want to make him breathe and blink. So I guess this will be his eyes. Probably should have deleted the eyes from that, to be honest, but I didn't, so we will find a way. I could just go full hog and make it all. Or maybe for this I'll cheat and I'll just put white over it and be a total loser. That could also work. I think what I'll do, I will actually go all the way back to these. And I'm going to remove the eyes from this base layer. Be nice and ingenuitous with it. And then I will... Ugh, all my tools are mixed around in the animation mode. Just copy them off. Try not to mess them up like I did with that one. And then I'll cut and paste them on top into the green layer, which I guess I should honestly make that one red because his eyes are red. But you know what? There we go. Perfect. Beauty. I don't actually know what Wii channel this is. Oh, this is Everybody's channel. Gotcha. I'll be honest, I didn't really play with the Wii channels very much as a kid. I kind of just played with the games. I explored, what was it? I think the World News channel a little bit. If that was even one, that might not even be a channel. I just vaguely remember it. Oh, I'm still on white. That's why. That would certainly explain some things. I'm just gonna make this gently round out towards the top, shaped like a freaking minion. Get the stem to the leaf. Perfection. Look at that. Third try. I feel like a legend. Should probably go ahead and paste this into here, now that I think about it, before I accidentally delete it. There we go. Alright, so now... Why are there... Oh, I see. Okay, so you are the eyes, and you are everything else. So I'm going to make you green. Just And name, why am I not naming them? Okay. That makes everything easier, doesn't it? There we go. You can just go and die somewhere. I don't know. So now we got eyes, we got body. The body is, and we'll fill this with color too. Don't worry. So I guess I just got to. I gotta copy this, all the stuff back here, onto the other layer. But I'll finish probably. Let's see. This song is perfect. This is actually kind of part of the language of this project, which I suppose it would probably be helpful to tell y'all what this is, because I don't think many people caught my stream yesterday or want to watch an hour-long VOD. This is a character for a point-and-click game that I'm currently working on. There's no currently I'm calling the game Snail Game. Snails come in later. They're very important to it, don't worry, but they are, he is not a snail, obviously. The premise is, this guy is a little pet frog who essentially gets abducted, which, honestly, it's not a super fun topic, but he gets abducted from his home and dropped in the garden outside of his house, and he has to make his way back inside. It's super wacky. In theory, I want it to be really weird and kind of head scratchy, esoteric puzzles, stuff like that. Each level will be a diorama, a photo of a diorama, kind of in a analog horror style, and this guy and all the characters and interactable items will be animated on top of it. Inspired by Cuphead, obviously, for like the classic animation, and Gumby, which is an old show. I think there was a modern version of it, but I always watch the modern version, or sorry, the old version, because that's what my parents had from like this, I think, 60s and 70s. And it's a show where this clay character, Gumby, with his other clay friends, goes inside of storybooks. And it's just very fun. I greatly enjoy it. And so, I guess I should probably explain a little bit more. They go inside the storybooks, like, there's one where they go inside a space book. I don't know, I'm not being very good at describing this. Oh, man. Wait, hold on. Did I misname these layers? No, I didn't. Oh, I'm dumb. I've been drawing on the wrong one. Whoops. Oh, have I? Okay, yeah, I have. So, nothing a little bit of more drawing can't fix, you know? That's the great thing about all this. I can just fix my issues and pretend they never existed. So yeah, Gumby had a lot of stuff like that, but it's in an ancient, like, 60s camcorder style, and so the camera angles and lighting is really kind of weird and creepy, but also sort of cozy in a way. If you ever get time, please look at some old Gumby episodes. They're all over YouTube. And they're very, very dystopian. So just imagine that, just kind of weird. I Spy. It's kind of like I Spy. Very I Spy-ish dioramas. And then Gumby and his friends are claymation inside the kind of realistic looking dioramas. And so that's kind of the vibe. I don't know if anyone's played like Pajama Sam and stuff like that. That's another inspiration for this. Oh, excuse me. I played those all the time as a kid. And, hold on. Why did that do nothing? Losing my mind here. Okay, there we go. I'm just in here. Okay. I've got to cut and copy this. And I gotta merge. This might not work. It might not work. We shall see. So I need to merge this thing I have onto this. Okay. No, that didn't work. Okay. So, hold on. Let me cook. Because if that's not going to work, that would majorly stink. Hold on. Okay. So this is the head I need to implant onto it, and I also did it wrong. Let me fix that down here. So, let's see. Crack the knuckles. Ugh. Figure this out. I'm gonna try merging with the layer below. Did it work? It did! Look at that. I don't know what that green... Why is it showing that? I don't have... Oh! Did I, Is there white there? I might have put a bunch of white there. Hold on. Oh, wait. Ugh. Yeah, I knew it. Alright. I think I can just do that, and, so I'm on the wrong layer. Yeah, now I can just delete it. Look at that. Magic of modern technology. Oh, it's a little janky, but that's fine. I will just do this. Not that. This. It's like it was never there. There's a little bit of stragglers. Perfect. I guess I'll hide that. Let's make sure I didn't screw anything else up while I was doing that, because that would be bad. Nope, everything is the same except for that. That's fine. I don't care. That's hidden behind the eyes. Alright, let's work on this blink. I want it to be... Let's just go ahead and do it right at the front. Why not? It'll wrap around and... Ugh, what's the math on that? 60 divided by 15, 15... It'll wrap around in 4 seconds. It'll blink every 4 seconds. That'll be a lot, but... This is, once again, just a test. That's all it needs to be. I have to do the color on 2 layers now, too, now that I think about it. Alright, blink. Frogs blink in a really funny way, and it's very entertaining to watch. So, they don't have normal eyelids like we do. And it's very entertaining because they... This blank background is kind of distracting me. Let's make you a mellow, pleasant yellow. There we go. That's so much better. So much better. But the way frogs breathe is interesting because they, it's not breathe. What am I saying? The way they blink is interesting because, they don't have big stretchy eyelids like we do. And so to blink, they actually will pull their eyes into their head and tuck them in. And with that mechanism, that's also how they swallow. And so if you ever see a frog try and swallow, their eyes tuck into their skull and go completely flat. Because they use that to swallow. They don't have the reflexes like mammals do. Very cool. So when I make him blink... I need him... Let's do some key poses. Let's see... Maybe... frame 6. Let's make frame 6 the one where he's got closed eyes. Just little bleary. Oh, whoops. Still on that color. Apparently I still am on that color. Okay, there we go. Just a little bleary. Maybe there we go. Kind of slightly bulged, round head. Beauty. And I'll probably make the area around his eyes green when he's blinking, and then re-show the kind of black mask when he opens his eyes back up, just for convenience sake. Alright, so we got that. Okay, so now we're just going to fill in the gaps. Let's do this pose now. Maybe like that. And then make sure it's bulged up behind him too. I want to be even more of a bump when they're in the process of closing. Because I feel like, you know, that'd probably push away a lot more skin than when they're actually fully closed. Here we go. Alright, that's good. A little alien-ish, but you know what? We'll see. Just make them kind of bleary. And you know what? I'll probably animate his pupils separately in the final model. But for this one, I'll go ahead and just put him in there. That's not right. There we go. A bit better. Worse actually. Whatever. I'll deal with that later. That's not important. So, blah, blah. Now let's make them even grosser. That doesn't make sense though, because they're going. There we go. And that, when he fully closes them, they inflate a little bit more, and also don't. So let's fix that. I want this to be closer to the final. This whole thing. Let's do that. Little less, a little more, a little less. Yeah, I like that. And then I'll make that just bulge out a little bit. How about that? That way we can have our cake and eat it too. Make sure to make these kind of bleary too. And lots of little wrinkles. So let's see how that looks. That honestly might be too many frames. I think that's actually that might be enough, but too spaced apart. Let's try that first. Blink, and then just real quick and dirty. All right. Wait, did I mess that up? No, I didn't. Alright, let's just make this end on frame 7. And play it. What does that look like? That's a little icky. I'm not really sure I'm the biggest fan of that. But now let's think, how do we improve that? What do I not like about it? I don't like... I think maybe his eyes should just completely disappear. There would be, definitely would be, like, lines where his eyes were, but I don't like, how it bulges back out. So let's, honestly, let's just... Wait, what'd I do? Let's just try this. And end it on 3 now. I kind of like that, actually. I think that's better. Genuinely, I think that's better. Where it just pops in and out of existence. That's primo. Alright. Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna have to cut the stream, let's say 4 minutes, just round it at exactly an hour. I'll keep working on this, and I'll probably post a GIF of the progress at the end in my YouTube posts. Thank you all for tuning. I really appreciate you showing up. Just now kind of getting used to all this streaming stuff, but I'd like to do it a little bit more in the future. So, yeah. If you so would like to join me, that would be fantastic. I would greatly appreciate that. Alright, well, I think let's just wrap this up with, this honestly might be done. All but color. I could do the color tomorrow or something. I just want to see how it looks with the full length. Thought about giving him a bunch of other little things to do throughout it, but this is just the sitting there totally idle. So he doesn't need to be super complex. Just enough to make you know that he's still alive, you know? That's all that really matters. Oh, perfect. Alright, let's see. Should probably put the opacity back up. I need to fix this. Oh. Oh my gosh. The opacity's down for all of them. That's nice. Alright, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this. Thank you all so much for showing up. I greatly appreciate it. I will catch you on the next one, probably roughly the same time, maybe a little bit earlier tomorrow. I might do it on Tuesday again. I'll put together a schedule later, but yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. God bless.